Okay, good evening, guys, everybody. I put my story into here. Is that what is the interest? I mean, of trading of interest to you? And there's one person who did post a very good question to me, and I think I'm gonna share my point of view. Okay, there is no, is this not an investment advice? No, is there any obligation for you to follow? It all depends on how you see and what is your belief and what is your strategy. Okay, so the question is, I think I would like to know the good way of deciding the trend. I don't know if this makes sense, but I do believe that when you know the trend, everything will be up to the patient strategy and money management. Okay, confused at the moment that some say that you just need to know the market structure to know the trend, but some also say momentum is the trend. So if you're grateful to if you can clear the confusion. Okay, so I'm gonna sum up everything out here. Okay, so for instance, right, if I would like to know the good way of deciding the trend, first of all, there is no good or bad way into deciding a trend. Okay, now I don't know if that makes sense to you. Okay, there is no good or bad way to decide how is a trend. Okay, it all depends on how you define it. Okay, how do you decide the trend? Okay, some people use indicators as a trend, some people use fractals, some people use a lot of things to decide a trend. So you can't use everything. Okay, if you're gonna use everything, you're just gonna jam up everything. Okay, that is because at any one point of time, right, it is going to fail, and then some of it will be a positive outcome for you. So there is no one or two good way. It all depends on how you see things and how you believe it. That's all. Okay, example, you can go to trading view. Okay, you can go to trading view, right? This is just an example. Like for instance, you go to ideas, and then I'll just put here under trend analysis. How many ways are there to decide of a trend? Cycles, factors, seasonality, multiple time frame analysis, candlestick analysis, trend lines, Fibonacci. A lot. There is a lot of ways for you to decide whether a trend is, whether you want to see a trend or not. Okay, and all people from all walks of life have different kind of ways of how they see a trend. Okay, some use a lot of lines, and it's how they decide and how you define it. This how they define it. Okay, like for me, I decide on a trend is based on the market structure, based on supply and demand, and I based on price action, and I look at naked. That's all. Okay, I try to use, I never use moving averages, and I try to be as simple as I can with my approach. Okay, so it's how you define it. Like a dog is a dog, huh? A dog is a dog, a cat is a cat. If a dog that looks like a cat, it is still a dog. Okay, so don't confuse yourself. So before the other question is that about momentum is the trend, right? Okay, let me just tell you that I will share with you about momentum. Okay, momentum is actually speed. Okay, momentum is called speed. Like for instance, when you go down a hill, okay, example, you take a ball from the top, and then you put the ball going down. Okay, like I'm going to maybe illustrate. Okay, so momentum is called actually speed. All right. Okay, let's imagine this is a slope. Okay, and this is a ball. Sorry, my ball don't look. The ball don't look nice. Okay, and you throw the ball inside. The what is the momentum as the ball travels down? Slow, fast, fast, fast. And it goes down, and it go faster and faster and faster, right? Until you reach to a certain point, it becomes slow, 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 and then there's a springboard here that push this ball up again. Okay, so momentum is speed. Okay, it's not a way to decide a trend. Momentum is part of the way to decide a trend. It's not the only way. So have you as I say, it's about how you define it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my here. Okay, so for instance, right, if you want to, for me, I like to look at the then the other way that you want to see how to another way to decide a trend, right, is really depends on how you look at a time frame. Okay, like for me, the best way to see a trend is always the higher time frames. I mean the daily and the weekly and the monthly. Okay, like for instance, okay, you can have the H4 here, you have the daily here, you have the weekly here, you have the H1 here. Okay, you have the M15 and maybe M30. Okay, so like for instance, right, the signals that you see at here is more reliable than the signal that you see at H4. The signal you see at H4 is more reliable than you see the signals at H1. Okay, the lower time frame you go, the less reliable it is. Okay, that is how I see a trend. So time frame plays a very big part. Time frame plays a very big part. So if you have to say, I already send you guys this. What time frame to identify the trend daily is the best? Okay, this has been shared with you guys during my trend identification videos before. Okay, so use that as part of your ways to define a trend. Okay, let's just horse stock is shift. Let's just go to the charts. Okay, like for instance, right, I'm just going to go for this pound NZD. Okay, so for instance, right, look at this. Still remember the ball? Okay, the ball that I tell you. Okay, like for instance, you roll the ball around here and the ball goes down. As it goes and goes, the momentum keeps on building and building and building and building, right, until it comes here. This is where the momentum starts to slow down. You can see from the way the market is moving, right? The momentum start build down, and then there's a springboard pushing this market again. Okay, as it goes up, right, then this is where the momentum start to build down. Okay, this start to move build down. Whether or not this one will go up, we do not know, but this is not the place for us to look for any kind of buys. That's for sure. Because why? Because in this case, right, in the daily closing candle, right, if you can see from here, this one, right, I can just open for H4, H1, M15, M30, right, it's all moving down. Okay, H4 moving down, H1 moving down. Okay, M15 going down. So okay, there is no high, just moving down and down and down. Alright, so the the high time frame usually tells the better story. So I look at daily as a compass about trend. So for instance, okay, where is this trend going right now? If you look at here, right, I'm looking more into the trend going towards downside. Why? Because the daily is not convincing to close higher, and we look at first, okay, price did move down here, okay, and then price did went up here, and when this prices went up, right, 95% of retail traders only have one thing on their mind: to look for a buy. Right, not? And you base on your left. Okay, you base on your left. Okay, let's say you base on your left. You buy. Happy for a while, you die. Then the next day, you buy again. Happy for a while, you die. And the next day, you buy again. You happy for a while, and you die. So that is not the right way of looking at a trend. Okay, so what I like to see is that I use based on supply and demand. Okay, like based on supply and demand, what I see a drop here. Okay, that means the sellers are pushing at the point of time, and then I see price halt or making a base, and after that base, price make a rally. After that rally, price make a small base. After that small base, price make a rally, and after that rally, try to imagine this is a very strong push, and then in the end, market can push from here, so that means there is a more stronger push from here right now. So it's rally base drop. In the H4 we can see this is a rally base drop. Okay, H4 rally base drop, base drop. So now to me that is going to change trend to the downside. So now I'm not looking for any kind of buy, I only looking for a sell, in this case for this pair. And the pair, because if you look from here, if I'm going to put this, what happened is that okay, price is stalling here, and then price breakout, and then that is where a new trend will come towards the downside. So there is no reason to look for any kind of buy at this point of time, because price already go down. But in the coming few days or coming few weeks, a sell order is more preferred. Okay, so because it's the momentum is building. Okay, why? If you are going to wait until price go down here and then you sell, then you are following the candle too much. Okay, usually price have to stop. Example, for instance, here you only look for a buy, right? Why not? But then after this price goes down, you are still looking for a buy. Price even go down lower, you're still looking for a buy. Price even go down lower, you're still looking for a buy. Price go down lower, you still look for a buy. How many times you fail? Think about it. Alright. So the trend is right. So how you define the trend is right? If the closing prices is not higher, if the closing prices is not closing higher, why buy? That means the trend is down. If the closing prices is lower, the trend is down. The closing price is higher, then the trend is up. So it depends on which kind of time frame you look. If you are going to look at 4 hours, it's going to be more confusing, right? Okay, you look at 4 hour, right? For instance, right, you see like that. Okay, and here you buy, you're happy, but actually you are buying a retrace, and then oh damn, then price go up here, you buy again. You get what I mean? So the thing is, don't look at just one single time frame. You have to find familiarity with multiple time frame, and the best is to use on the daily and the H4. Okay, so that is the way. So like for instance, daily, at one glance, right, I can already look at. So this pair pound NZD is going down for next one. Okay, DXY is going down, gold is going up. Alright, why I say that? I don't talk, I do. Okay, which is why I do this. I sell pound NZD and I buy gold. Okay, I do not share much within the past few weeks because I've been concentrating on my students and I'm just trade the market. Okay, I don't like to market myself, but I do like occasionally I just like to share certain stuff with you guys. Okay, so just by looking, right, you can decide whether what kind of a pair, what kind of trend is it doing. Okay, so but like right now, CHF yen or maybe pound. Okay, like pound USD, right? For instance, right now, look at your from your left to right. Look from your left to right, right? Not from your right to left, right? Look from your left to right, right? Where is the general sense of direction? It's actually up. The general sense of direction is still up. Okay, you can see multiple times that's the previous resistance broken. Okay, resistance here, broken. So it's a buy. It's still a buy. So I'm only looking for a buy. It's still a buy because there's no push down and the previous structure has not been broken. So in this case, the two areas where I will be, that means for instance, when is this buy defaulted? Once price break out of this, then I will say then okay, then I'm not looking for a buy. So as I say, how you define a trend? For instance, this one is still a buy. Okay, price go down here, I'm still looking for a buy. But if price goes down here very strong, then okay, then maybe I sell. So it all depends on how you define it. Okay, that is all I can say. I don't say much. In terms, I just try to keep it simple. I do not like. I mean, if you're going to explain one pair 30 minutes, 40 minutes, right? It doesn't make much sense because the market is not moving. And if you're not taking any entries with it, then I'm explaining it long, so no use. Okay, so you have to be very clear about what you want. Okay, like for instance, right now, NZD USD, NZD cat, sorry, this one, NZD USD is buy. Okay, looking only for a buy. Alright, that's it. So I'll see you and thank you for the for replying to my story. I don't want to mention the names for confidential purposes, and just keep on those comments in and share with me, and I'll try my best to share my opinions about it. Okay, see you guys.